I think I'm too big for jail, but I think like I'm not too big for God.
Yeah.
So like God could put the biggest person in there. I feel like I'm taller than the jail, but somehow he could just like squish me in there. I think it was like a God thing, just showing me like, you know, situations, real friends, and who you with you, and how to move, and how to be, because you are you at school.
In hip-hop, there are innovators, and then there are architects. Jeffrey Lamar Williams, better known as Young Thug, didn't just make hits. He bent sound, fashion, and culture into something unrecognizable. But what happens when the architect becomes the prisoner of the very world he helped build? Atlanta's Zone 3, Sylvan Hills, where dreams either die young or learn to fight back. This is where Jeffrey Williams grew up, the second youngest of 11 children in a house that knew poverty like an old friend. When you got that many mouths to feed, you learn quick that normal rules don't apply. Jeffrey had to find his own way. School wasn't his escape. It was just another place where he didn't fit. But somewhere between the chaos at home and the streets outside, Jeffrey found something else entirely. Music. Not just listening to it, but bending it, making it weird, making it his own. By his late teens, Jeffrey was dropping mixtapes, building buzz in Atlanta's underground. The name, Young Thug, was starting to mean something on streets. But the real world was about to notice. 2013. Gucci Mane was Atlanta's trap king, and his 1017 Records was where careers were born. When he signed Young Thug, even Gucci couldn't predict what he'd unleashed. The I Came From Nothing series put people on notice. This wasn't your typical trap music. Jeffrey was doing things with his voice that nobody had heard before. Then came 1017 Thug, the project that made the industry stop and ask, what exactly is this? Radio programmers didn't know what to do with it. Was it singing? Was it rapping? Jeffrey was creating his own lane, and that scared people. Weird, different, not real rap. The criticism was loud, but so was something else. Undeniable buzz. Stoner dropped and changed everything. Then Danny Glover, a track that somehow made Young Thug's strangest impulses feel like inevitable hits. You couldn't deny the energy. Kids were singing along to sounds they'd never heard before. Jeffrey wasn't just making music, he was making a new language. What Jeffrey Williams understood that others didn't was simple. Hip-hop had rules, and rules were made to be shattered. Where others rapped, Thug sang. Where others followed the beat, Thug floated above it. His ad-libs weren't just punctuation, they were art. Listen to trap music before and after Young Thug. It's night and day. He gave permission to an entire generation to be weird, to be melodic, to be themselves. Rich Homie Quan, the Rich Gang Era. Lifestyle, a song that felt like summer itself. Jeffrey was building something bigger than himself. That Rich Gang Era wasn't just about one hit. It marked a culture shift. Birdman, Rich Homie Quan, and Young Thug became a trio that made the world pay attention. The chemistry was undeniable, and for many, it was the first time they truly saw Thug as the future of rap. The 300 Entertainment deal in 2014 made it official. Young Thug wasn't just Atlanta's secret anymore. He was hip-hop's future. Songs like Best Friend and Check proved Jeffrey could make hits without compromising his vision. He was commercial and experimental at the same time. Listen close to today's biggest rap stars. That melodic flow, those unconventional ad-libs, that willingness to be vulnerable and aggressive simultaneously, that's Young Thug's DNA in hip-hop's bloodstream. Music was just the beginning. Jeffrey Williams was about to challenge hip-hop's most sacred assumptions about masculinity itself. August 2016, the Jeffrey mixtape cover, Young Thug in a flowing dress designed by Alessandro Trincone, broke the internet and broke barriers. Hip-hop had never seen anything like it. Here was one of the genre's most respected artists completely redefining what masculine expression could look like. The backlash was swift and brutal, but so was something else, inspiration. Today, hip-hop's relationship with fashion, gender, and self-expression bears Jeffrey's fingerprints. He didn't just wear a dress. He opened a door that can never be closed. By 2016, everyone wanted to work with Young Thug. Kanye, Drake, Future, Travis Scott. Jeffrey had become hip-hop's secret weapon. Metro Boomin once said in an interview, "Every time I'm in the studio with Thug, he does something with his voice that I didn't even know was possible. He's like an instrument of his own." Barter 6, originally titled Carter 6, was Jeffrey's playful jab at Lil Wayne, his idol turned rival. The controversy only made him bigger. Jeffrey understood something about hip-hop that others missed. Sometimes the best way to show respect is to challenge everything your heroes built. 2019, This Is America with Childish Gambino earned Jeffrey a Grammy. The weird kid from Zone 3 was now officially recognized by music's highest authority. So Much Fun debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. After years of critical acclaim and cultural influence, Jeffrey finally had commercial validation to match. Young Thug proved you could be completely original and still dominate the mainstream. He changed the math of what success looked like. The architect had built his empire. But empires, history tells us, can fall as quickly as they rise. May 9th, 2022, the date hip-hop culture will never forget. Jeffrey Williams, along with 27 other associates, was indicted under Georgia's RICO Act. The prosecution's argument was devastating in its simplicity. YSL, Young Slime Life, wasn't just a record label. According to authorities, it was a criminal street gang. This case represents something unprecedented. Using an artist's creative output, their lyrics, their persona, as evidence of criminal conspiracy. Says his lawyer. Suddenly, every song, every lyric, every social media post became potential evidence. The creative freedom Jeffrey had championed was being used against him. When Ghana took an Alford plea in December 2022, it sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
Jeffrey's protege was free, but the architect remained behind bars. The Free Young Thug movement exploded across social media. Fellow artists, fans, and free speech advocates rallied around Jeffrey. But the legal system moved slowly, indifferently. By mid-2023, Jeffrey's trial was still in pre-trial motions. The jury selection alone dragged on for months, becoming one of the longest processes in Georgia's history. Prosecutors began introducing song lyrics as evidence, sparking nationwide debate about whether rap was on trial more than the man himself. Artists like Meek Mill, Drake, and Killer Mike publicly criticized the use of lyrics in court, calling it an attack on black art and freedom of expression. As 2023 turned into 2024, hip-hop felt the absence. The voice that had shaped a generation was silenced, trapped behind prison walls while his influence continued echoing through every new release. In early 2024, courtroom footage and transcripts revealed a strained Jeffrey, but also a defiant one, still insisting on his innocence. For his supporters, his resilience became symbolic of something larger, the fight for artistic freedom itself. Turn on the radio today. Stream the hottest playlists. The sound is unmistakable, melodic, emotional, unafraid to be vulnerable. That's Young Thug's world we're all living in. Jeffrey didn't just influence a few artists. He influenced an entire approach to hip-hop. The Atlanta sound that dominates today starts with what he built. Lil Baby credits Jeffrey as his inspiration. Before his plea deal, Ghana called him the greatest artist alive. Lil Keed, before his tragic death, spoke of Jeffrey like a father figure. But it goes deeper than Atlanta. Listen to Playboi Carti's experimental flows, Lil Uzi Vert's genre-bending approach, Travis Scott's melodic sensibilities. The DNA is unmistakable. The numbers don't lie. Songs Jeffrey influenced generate billions of streams. Artists inspired by his approach dominate charts worldwide. The weird kid from Zone 3 accidentally created a blueprint for global success. Jeffrey Williams represents a turning point in hip-hop history. There's before Young Thug and after Young Thug. The genre literally sounds different because he existed. But influence isn't the same as presence. Hip-hop's most innovative voice remains silenced, his future uncertain, his next chapter unwritten. Young Thug's story isn't finished yet. Whether he walks free or spends decades behind bars, his imprint on rap will echo forever. He gave hip-hop permission to be weird, to be emotional, to be free. He proved that authenticity, even when it's uncomfortable, could move mountains and touch souls.